Hello, little readers. Today we're going to read Ordinary Oscar by Laura Adkins, illustrated by Sam Hearn. In the moonlit garden of 16 Slug Street, the snails are busy. Slowly they munch and crunch the tasty, tender leaves of potted plants and juicy lettuce. They are all happy snails. Well, nearly all of them. Oscar Slime Glider was not happy. "I'm tired of sleeping all day," he said. "I'm fed up with eating all night. I'm bored with being greenish, grayish, brownish. I want other snails to look at me and say, 'Wow, there's Oscar's Slime Glider.' I want to be different. I want to be famous." "Nonsense," said Oscar's dad. "What's wrong with sleeping all day? What's wrong with eating all night? And what's wrong with being greenish, grayish, brownish?" said Oscar's mom. "Your 25 brothers and sisters never complain." But Oscar was determined. "The wise old snail will know what to do," he declared. So off he went. "What do you want to be famous for?" asked the wise old snail. "Can you paint, dance, play the guitar?" Oscar shook his head. "Being famous isn't always easy, you know," said the wise old snail. "Are you sure about this?" Oscar nodded. "Very well then," said the wise old snail. "You're going to need a bit of magic." And he told Oscar what to do. Oscar waited patiently for the sun to rise. Then he turned around 3 times and cried, "Slime, slime, slither, slither. Fairy god snail, please come hither." The fairy god snail appeared. "So you want to be famous?" she asked. Oscar wiggled eagerly. "Yes, please." "There's only one thing to do then," replied the fairy god snail. "I shall grant you 3 wishes. But choose carefully," she warned. Then she waved her magic wand and disappeared. Oscar closed his eyes tightly and made a wish. Slowly Oscar opened his eyes. "Look at me," he gasped. "I'll be famous for being the most marvelous mollusk. I'm a stunning, stupendous, spectacular snail. Everyone will admire me." And sure enough, someone was admiring Oscar. Up above, a hungry bird smiled to himself. "That snail looks like a terrifically tasty treat," he thought, plunging down. "Get your great greedy beak off me," Oscar wailed. "I wish I was bigger than you." Much, much bigger. Oscar landed in town. He was bigger than a bus, bigger than 6 buses glued together. All around him, tiny people were screaming and running away. "It's horrible," they cried. As the sun began to sink, Oscar slithered into the woods to hide. "Now I'm famous for being frightening," he said, "and I have no friends." Oscar began to cry. "I want to go home to Mom and Dad and my 25 brothers and sisters. I wish I was just ordinary Oscar again." And just like that, he was home. "Where have you been, Oscar?" asked his dad. "We've been awfully worried about you." "We thought you might have been squashed," said his mom. "Now it's dinner time," she said. "I've got some tasty, tender leaves just for you." My favorite," said Oscar. "Maybe being ordinary isn't so bad after all." But sometimes, just sometimes, even an ordinary snail can do extraordinary things. 6 weeks later. The end. For more stories, please subscribe to our channel, Little Readers.